Hey planner friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, my name's Kate. I'm your host of Functional Planning. In today's video, we're going to go through the cloth and paper Commonplace notebook set that is coming out in the May 2025 subscription box. So I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of goodies. I'm going to do a lot of testing. So I'll put some timestamps below, but for right now, grab your snack, grab your drink, and let's get into it. So I think the most logical place to start is what's actually in the Commonplace notebook set. So it's a combination of 3 different notebooks designed to address different areas of planning. So I'm going to open this up, we're going to do a little size comparison, and then we're going to start to play. I will tell you when it first comes, it's in this elastic band. My recommendation is to just pull the band up and slide out each notebook. Don't try and just take this off. The cover on the A5 got a little bit damaged when I tried to pull that off. So the first piece is the Pocket Plus monthly overviews, and it has this cute little card on it that gives you details about each one of the notebooks in the set. I'll leave that there for you guys to take a screenshot. Those are all the specs for the notebooks here. On the back, it has a little description of what a Commonplace notebook is. I'll let you read that whenever you get yours. But inside of this, you have your monthly overview and then lines down here to do whatever you need to do. So a high-level monthly overview. Because this is a Pocket Plus size, having it in this, this orientation is very helpful. So just to kind of compare this, this is a Pocket Plus notebook that's in my Traveler's notebook. So they are about the same size. I will say these cards, because the cardstock is thick, they do jet out a little bit. So if you put them fold to fold, you'll see that these are just a little bit longer, but it should still fit in your Traveler's notebook. So if you guys saw my last video, this is the Traveler's notebook. So you would just either put this whole thing in the Traveler's notebook or just take out one and put it on your strings. The next notebook is A5, and this is an olive perfect bound notebook. The paper is a creamy white color, and it's beautiful. I do love that this absolutely lays flat, and the cover on here, you can remove it. So the outside of the book is white, and the inside pages are this beautiful cream color. The front page is a thicker cardstock than what is in here. I don't know the GSM on the paper. I wasn't provided with that information. Anyway, it's lovely, and I'm super excited. So I'm going to take this out of the sleeve so we can talk about the binding and show you guys. So it is a raw binding, and this is about twice the thickness of the ensemble notebook that came in March's box, but it is the same type of binding. The stitching is the same ivory color though, so there's no color on the stitching. But I did get some questions on how the thickness compares. So we line those up or do our best. Like I said, this one's about twice as thick. The back is just this beautiful white as well, and this is textured. The front and back covers are textured, but yeah, so no matter where you open her up, she lays flat. I love this kind of binding. It's actually my favorite kind of binding out of all the things. So looking forward to seeing how I can decorate this and play with it. I think that's always the challenge when you get a new item, is how do I incorporate it into my system? So we're going to play around with that in just a little bit. But once you put the sleeve back on, it just nests in there very, very nicely. All right, the third notebook in the set is an HP Classic size, and this is quite large. If you've never used HP Classic, I'm going to show you a size comparison. So this is my A5 Foundations planner in the Foundations cover. If you account for the spiral, the actual physical size of the paper is about the size of the Foundations planner cover in A5. So this is a big guy. Big mama situation here. So just be advised that if you don't like bigger planners, this might not be a good on-the-go option for you, but it might be perfect for on your desk. It comes with a frosted cover. I know that Cloth and Paper's team did a really great job of the ins and outs of you know, going into the design work and the inspiration and all of that. So definitely watch that video if you haven't. As you open it up, there's a white cardstock dashboard with some gallery pieces here that are lovely. A notebook, this notebook belongs to page, and then it goes straight into the actual creamy pages here. And that's going to repeat for the entire notebook. I did not do a flip of this, but one of the questions I had was, is there like a table of contents or anything like that? The answer is no. It just, the notebook belongs straight into the repeating pages. Similarly, in the A5, you've got a blank page, the this notebook belongs to page, and then it goes straight into the undated daily pages. So if you're wanting to use this for a bullet journal situation, there's no room for an index, and there's no blank pages at the back or anything like that. It's the same layout throughout. Last but not least in the Commonplace set is this elastic band. This is a beautiful red-orange color. It's almost like a corally red-orange. And the camera just doesn't do it justice. It's actually stunning. I'm gonna do my best to give you a color comparison. So these are the Sedona stickers. Let's see if I can get that on a white background for you. Here are the Sedona stickers, and here is the band. So you can see this has a little bit more red to it than Sedona. Sedona's a little bit more orange, but they are pretty close. If you've been on Instagram, you've seen I've used a lot of Sedona stickers here lately, just because I'm loving the vibe that's happening with this color combo. But there's the two compared for you guys. So first impressions, they're beautiful, they're stunning, and I'll be honest, I was a little confused on how I was going to use them. So I have no idea what we're going to get into today in terms of this video. We're going to play, and sometimes you just have to play. For this little guy here, it seems very straightforward. It would be a really great monthly overview in my planner. There's no possible way I could fit everything going on in May here. Just to kind of give you a reference, my May calendar is insane. If you have been following me on Instagram, you know that my daughter graduates high school this month. So this is my May calendar. I can't imagine trying to fit all of that on here. Okay, just behold all of the craziness that comes along with graduation and family visiting and all of that. I'll admit I went all in on this color combo. Isn't it pretty? This is a raised sticker. So that's May. It's chaos. Back to the show. So for this, I may just do a quick heat map to see what days are available, what days are definitely not available. I really don't know exactly how I'm going to use this yet for myself, but you don't know unless you try. So we're going to pull this out and play. So I'm going to keep my May calendar open up here, and we're going to play around with just making a basic heat map. One thing I will say is I don't have all of the accessories that come in the sub box yet because I did not get the whole sub box. Cloth and Paper was kind enough to send me this notebook set to play with to give you guys some ideas. So once you get your box, you're not lost. So let's start with this heat map. This could be a hot mess. I'm going to continue with the color palette that I have been using on everything else for the month of May because it brings me joy. So the colors that I'm using are Sedona, Olive, Beignet, and Nude. One quick thing about Nude. The new stickers, the dot and spotlight stickers, are a different color than the OG Nude stickers. So you'll see, maybe you'll see, they both say Nude. These are a pink nude. These are more of a an off-white nude. So just be aware that there are some color variations in some of the different sticker sets. So the drops, time block, and then the circle set with the big circles are this pink color, and then the 4-pack that have like Nori, Nude, Ash, Angora, Espresso. They come in like 4 packs of dots with 4 different colors, or 4 sets of spotlight stickers in 4 different colors. The nude color varies. So we're going to start things off with Sedona, and I'm going to grab a spotlight sticker, And we're just going to start by highlighting the month of May. And then to create a heat map, I am going to just kind of create a code, if you will. So I will do these colors. And I think instead of olive, I think I'm going to use nori. So we have nori, or I have court. Let's see which one we like better. All those are about the same. So I've been using, I'll show you guys. I'd been using olive on everything else, but so on the left you have nori and on the right you have court, and they are pretty similar. I think court is a little closer to olive, which is impossible for you guys to see on camera. So we're gonna go with court in place of olive. What I'm gonna do here is I'm going to put red, or not red, Sedona on days that are like fully booked, don't plan anything, we're busy. So I'm gonna create a little key down here. I think I'm just gonna do it at the bottom. So red, or I keep saying red, Sedona's gonna be fully booked. Green is going to be, or let's do red as like no, just no. And then I'm gonna do this beige color as standard event. I'm gonna center this because it's gonna drive me nuts. There we go, or space it more appropriately. We're gonna do ristretto for birthdays because we have birthdays in May that I care about. So I'm just gonna put a little birthday cake here. That way we know that's a birthday. So I'm gonna start with birthdays. I may be biased. I'm okay with that. My birthday is in May. I just realized this does not have numbers. So this is a Monday start. So Thursday is the 1st. So let me fill this in. You guys have heard my soapbox about hating to fill in things, but you do what you gotta do. I'm always afraid I'm gonna make a mistake and then book something on the wrong day, but I understand why it's undated. Like undated dailies, don't bother me. Undated weeks, don't bother me. It's the months. And that might just be a little quirky thing. It sounds so petty. I don't mean it that way. I don't know. One of those things. Like, I have to remember, does it have 30 days or 31 days? And you'd think I would have that, memorized by now. So we got the dates in there. So that moves us on into June. This is obviously April. We're going to come back here and got my birthday and my dad's birthday. If you guys didn't know that, I share a birthday with my dad. If you are a May baby, let me know in the comments. I want to know where all my May babies are. I feel like I should move this up. I'm actually going to list out the birthdays. This is a Uni 1 in this pretty speckled color, 0.5. I know someone's going to ask. So let's think through this logically. Obviously, if there's not a dot on there, it's open, right? Let's do like business as usual, the normal weekly stuff that we always have. If there's an event that is normal weekly stuff, like my son has chess club on these days. So we'll just put these as business as usual. And then Thursdays we have occupational therapy. So this would be business as usual plus a birthday. Business as usual. 22nd is business as usual. And I think those are the only business as usual dates that we have. Oh my goodness. And then I'm going to use green for we have an event. That's not a usual thing. I'm going to use so many of these. Might as well just color this entire thing green. So many things. I was thinking about like putting the holidays on there in a different color. This week is a very rough week for scheduling things. So I kind of want to like annotate that, but that's not gonna look good. So I don't know what I'm gonna do for that yet. We'll get there. So then we have family here. This week, this is a graduation party. So I'm going to mark those in red because I definitely do not have the mental bandwidth to deal with anything on that day. And then this is Mother's Day. This is Memorial Day. I mean, it's a holiday, but it's kind of a rest day. So I'm going to mark this off as a no. Like, we just need to recharge before the craziness of the week. So that's kind of the basic heat map. So wondering if I cut this, if I can use it to annotate like we are occupied that week. They're not exactly symmetrical, but you get the idea. The red is going to be no/holiday. Green is going to be events. And then this nude color is going to be, I'm going to write BAU. That just means business as usual. And then I already put the birthdays on there. Again, we just have a lot of events this month, so I didn't think it would be a very good month to try and cram all this in here. All right. On top of this, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to just put a little graduation cap on these two events because I have all these graduation stickers and I want to use them. So this isn't intended to be anything more than just a heat map reference for things. So I know if somebody says, hey, are you available on such and such date? I can look at this and go, probably not. Probably not. Yeah, maybe. Or there's nothing there. Sure, let's do it. So I'm just going to put this here to symbolize that I'm off that week. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little place for travel information because, like I said, my family's coming in at the end of the month and I might need that quickly at a glance. So I've got 3 people flying. 1, 2, 3. Skip a line. 1 driving. I'll just put the names and then I can just write out the dates that they're traveling here. I'm going to protect their privacy and not do that right now. This little guy, I am off this week. So let's see if Kate can draw a straight line. Could be dicey, y'all. I'm really bad at drawing straight lines. That's why you guys always see me with a ruler or something. Boom. Did it. I feel like Emerald. Bam. No, I'm kidding. The only other thing I might want to do is add this little raised dot thing. And that's just because I have them. I haven't used them. If you're a Taurus, you'll get it. You got to be extra for your birthday month. And I'm going to add one on my birthday because I can. And then this will just give me room for notes. All right, guys. So here's the May calendar and here's the heat map that I made to just kind of represent on the go what's going on. So again, the red days are a no-go, do not book, absolutely not, fully booked, or a rest day because we do have a very busy month. So I might add a couple more of those red stickers throughout here just because self-care is a thing and we gotta focus on the things that help refill our cup, right? Green dots are things that we already have events, so we're probably booked. The nude color down here, business as usual or BAU. So that's standard things that if someone's saying on the go, hey, can you do something this date? I can look and say probably. And then if there's nothing there, I obviously know. And then we have the little ristretto color for birthdays. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how you could use this to create a heat map. If that's something that you want to do. If you don't have as many events, you might be able to fully function with this as a calendar. I'm not that person. All right, so the last step would be to add this into the traveler's notebook. So I'm gonna say I wanna add it behind my weeks. I wanted to add it right here. I'm going to unclip this guy, slide these out. And yes, I have sarcastic science stickers in there, but I'm just going to put this here, slide my notebook over it on top. Ooh, that's a vibe. And then my string will go back here. So as I come in here, I have my clear sleeve, if you guys saw my last video, then my monthly overview, my graph pages, and then any notes. And that kind of keeps that tucked away because I don't necessarily need a key and a quick little reference guide. So that's going to live there. All right, so that's notebook 1. Let me clean up this mess and we're going to get into the next notebook and see how we can use that. So this HP Classic notebook, in terms of how I'm going to use it, I knew instantly what I was going to use this for as soon as I saw it. And I think that's because the art gallery piece of this really speaks to me. And what I'm going to be using this for is a brainstorming notebook for content creation because it can stay home, it can stay on my desk, It doesn't have to be, it can be messy. And honestly, I really needed something bigger. I have a lot of big ideas and I want to be able to get those ideas down on paper to have a better idea of exactly what I'm talking about. So maybe I don't ramble as much. I never write in the "this notebook belongs to." I make a sticker because my handwriting inevitably will suck as soon as I do that. So we're going to be playing on this. And the first thing I'm going to try and do is use archival ink and do my date stamp on here. With archival ink and date stamping, just take my advice, put something under your paper, just do it. It will create stability. So these pages are thicker than like a Tamra River paper. I butchered how to pronounce that. I recognize that. I'm okay with it, but the paper is thicker. If you are familiar with the thinner calligraphy paper in like Sterling Ink notebooks or Hobonichi notebooks, this is definitely thicker than that. It is not the same thickness as like a cloth and paper standard insert, their standard paper that they use, but it is fountain pen friendly. It does hold up, and I'll show you the pen testing that I did. I did a reel on it on Instagram, but I'll show you that page here in a second. Like I said, I'm gonna stamp this first. So I just have a calendar card that I grabbed from Sterling Ink. I laminated this guy just because I love it so much and wanted to preserve it forever. So I'm just gonna lay this underneath before I do anything else. And I'm gonna grab a paper towel. So this, you just pull the end off and then it lifts up and you have this wonderful ink surface. So I've already changed my dial. So I'm just going to tap. You don't need that many taps. I don't know, OCD. And then I'm gonna turn this so that I can see where the end here is. And I like to just take my stamp and line it up with the end and then roll forward and then rock it back and forth. I don't love that because it missed part of what I was doing. I'm gonna just be brave. We're gonna be really brave here. Hold my hand. I needed it slightly closer. So I'm gonna try and line this up. Everyone hold their breath. See if Kate can line this up properly. She did not, but you can see the date. The purpose of this paper towel is just to get the ink off. Once I'm done, paper towel does a pretty good job. Standard bounty situation. That way I can not get it on my white desk. Squirrely moment. Before I put the stamp away, I want to stamp in 2 other notebooks so that I can show you the bleed through compared to other common papers on the market. So I'm going to set this here. And I'm going to do the same thing. So this is a Hobonichi Techo that I did not use. And this is a Sterling Ink grid notebook. Here is the Sterling Ink paper. So this one, there's quite a bit of, I would call that almost bleed through, not necessarily ghosting, but bleed through. This is the Hobonichi Techo. Again, more than ghosting, that's bleeding. So I would say that these two are about the same. This is the Commonplace HP Classic. And what it looks like on the back. And I would call that ghosting. I don't actually see the ink bleeding through. And it is the same page. Hobonichi Techo up top, the sterling ink grid notebook here, and then this is the cloth and paper. So if you can see these guys, you can see a little bit of the ink coming through. So I would say Hobonichi Techo is got the most bleed through, then the sterling ink paper. But this is definitely just ghosting. So it's important to some people, and it's important to me that you have all the facts, especially when, you know, they're launching a new paper that they've never really used. And I don't know if I can say that. I don't know if this is the same paper as the Ensemble notebook or the CP Petite. You know what? I have both and we're playing. So let's play, right? I have a confession to make. I haven't done anything in this planner or in this notebook yet because blank pages scare me. All right, so this is the Ensemble notebook with the yellow binding, and then this is the CP Petite with the orange. So we'll go ahead and do a stamp test on these pages as well. All right, so CP Petite first. I'm gonna move that over so I have a solid surface. I don't know what to do. Okay. So let's see what these look like. So I would say it comes through about the same amount on the Ensemble. And for the CP Petite grid, yeah, about the same. So I will say that these papers between the HP Classic, the color is about the same. The grid is darker in the CP Petite, but the paper on this is just a lot smoother. Oh well, the paper on these two is smoother than this clear, or not clear, than the blank Ensemble notebook. Could be my imagination, but I think these two papers are comparable. Don't quote me on that. But if I look at the bleed through side by side, I'm just thinking of something you guys might already have in your arsenal. That's kind of what they look like. So that was the CP Petite, and this is the Ensemble. So there you have it. That's all the ink testing I'm going to do today. With stamps, anyway. All right, so back to this guy and how I'm going to use it, because I think I completely squirreled, and I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys examples of how to use things. That was the whole point in today's video, is how to use things. So I think I mentioned I knew exactly what I wanted to use this for when it launched, when I saw the inside, and that was to use it as a brainstorming notebook. So specifically for YouTube videos. And that's because I have a lot of space on the page. I have freedom. There's not too much structure here, right? So we're gonna put the name of the YouTube video up here. So we're gonna call this CNP Commonplace Notebook Set. And because we're being extra today, I am gonna put a little YouTube icon right here. All right, so kind of how I would use this page is, you know, big things that I want to cover in the video, right? So I know that this Commonplace notebook set, there's 3 notebooks. So I know the first notebook is the Spiral HPC, and it's topic centric. I know that the second notebook is the A5 Perfect Bound Undated Daily. And the third is the Pocket Plus monthly cardstock. And I'll just put a note like unbound. So I'm thinking through this as if I were to kind of map out today's video. So in the video itself, I would have the intro and then the opening. And in that opening statement, I would just unpackage and high level overview, maybe a flip, right? And that would all go in this opening statement, like I'm a lawyer, opening statements. I'm not going to use stickers here beyond just this one little YouTube sticker because I need all of this space to really think through my thoughts. Something I might do is use a highlighter to just kind of think through things. So like section this out. I know that for the Pocket Plus, my ideas would be heat map versus the actual monthly planning, and just wanting to say like it's an on-the-go reference. I can spell and then just where to put it, right? So I can put it in my traveler's notebook that I already have set up. I could put it in my like a journaling card slot. I could clip it to my personal rings. I don't know why I would do that, but you could. If you don't want like a detailed calendar and a personal rings, you could technically use it as a journaling card in there. You know, just high level, like what are the key points that I wanted to talk about? Sticker use, making a key, right? So those are all the things that I wanted to talk about in the Pocket Plus. And then in the HP Classic, I know that I want to use this for brainstorming notebook. And the reason I like this is, again, because it's unstructured, which is what I'm talking about now. And ideally, I would have done this like, you know, in advance of this video, how the art inspires me to create, right? So like, I feel like I'm creating a script or an outline for a piece of art, for a piece of content, something that I'm creating for you guys, right? And the covering and the layering moments in there, they tie into that. It goes with the theme, right? For the A5, we'll get there in just a second. So this is just like a rough outline of what I would do. You know, I would have like a dedicated page per video, and I can keep going if I need to outline more, right? So there's more space as needed. And it keeps all of my content in one place, and I can, you know, make sure I have all the things written down here. I don't function off of scripts, but I do like a rough outline of what I'm going to talk about. This is completely unoutlined, by the way. I got it. I was excited and I wanted to play with it. So that's where we are. I don't know. I like little stars by like the key points, right? And then for the A5 Undated, I want to talk about personal, business, and work buckets. I'll get there in just a second. As you guys will see, I want to talk about a single use. I want to see if I can use it for a journal. I want to see if I can use it for memory keeping. So those are the kind of things that I want to look at when I get to that notebook. And then I would add myself some reminders that I don't want to forget when I get to that point in the video. And that is tell people where they can get the notebooks. Where can I get it? How they can support me and get it at the same time. So I am a cloth and paper affiliate. So I will put a link in the description below of where you can actually get this. It doesn't cost you anything to purchase through that link. It just helps me out as a creator to continue bringing you content and lets Cloth and Paper know that I sent you there. So I'll put the link share in the description, and then other products used, right? So I want to put in the cactus cover and the stickers, and I used Sedona, Court, Nude, Olive, and I don't think I used Beignet. I used Ristretto though. So that way I can just kind of keep that in mind. And then at the end, closing. And for my closing, I just want to remind you, if you have not already, subscribe to the channel and maybe share it with a friend. Okay, so those are the high level things. You can see it's a rough outline. It's not anything that's super crazy or super involved, but it does, you know, just kind of help me get my thoughts out on paper. If I had a picture or something that I wanted to draw inspiration from, that's fine. But what this essentially will be at the end of the day is a itemized list of videos I've already created, so that I'm not necessarily duplicating content. Or if I had follow-on questions, you know, I could do it like this, where I could put the actual video over here, and then on the opposite page, any questions that came up in the comments, I could, put those questions over here and maybe then generate more content to answer the questions that you guys want. Because that's how I generate most of my content, is by listening to questions that I get and reading through comments and just kind of seeing what your pain points are. And I think that's a really, really helpful way to make content. Just kind of give you guys a little bit closer a view. I may be losing the light here, but it's messy, right? And I wanted a messy, authentic notebook, just to kind of brain dump everything out and then go from there. I promised I would show you this pen test. And that's something else I can just put on here, pen test. And for all the writing you guys see online that is very put together, when I'm brainstorming, I'm incredibly messy. So rest assured that my chicken scratch is not always perfect. So this is the pen test that I did on my Instagram reel. And I will pause so you can take a screenshot of the list of pens that I used, pens and markers. So this is what the back looks like. So even the hand lettering pen, which I am terrible at writing with, is doing great. That's this guy here that typically bleeds through on a lot of the papers that I've seen. So anyway, I'm really happy with the paper quality, really happy with this layout, and I look forward to having my brainstorming notebook close by as I create more videos. All right, I'm going to clean this up and we're going to get into the A5. Out of all the notebooks, this one terrifies me. Let me not be dramatic. The reason I say that is because if I was a one planner person, this might be it. This might be the one. Insert Highlander. There can be only one reference here. And it scares me that there's a product. This sounds so silly, but it scares me that this one product made me rethink my entire system in the matter of like 30 seconds, because I've been so happy with my personal rings and so happy, with my little traveler's notebook and all that, but they just keep coming with all these fun things. So, we're going to pretend for a moment that Kate decided she wanted to be a one planner girl, and we're going to set up a page that way. And then we're going to get into some of these other talking points that I have written down and since squirreled. See, this is why this is helpful. By the way, I didn't show you the back. So after I wrote on that page, I know it's just ink and highlighter, but after I wrote on that page, I don't feel like I can't keep writing. The ghosting is not ghosting. It's not full. There's a little bit, but it's not like a full Casper situation. Anyway, I'm going to leave this over here for reference before I forget. We're going to pretend that Kate is a one planner girl. And then we're going to see how I feel about that. And then I'm going to do an example of if I were using this just as a daily planner for personal or for business. And then I might get into some memory keeping and journaling. I think this video is going to be very long, and I'm trying to be respectful of the YouTube video upload process that's going to take forever. I know it's going to take forever. Let me start with this. Let me start with the pen test. So again, same pens that I used before. This is the pen test on this paper. I got a little bit more enthusiastic with the scribbles on this. So this is what it looks like on the back. So did a great job. Okay. So if you do not know this about perfect binding, I'm going to take this off for the purposes of right now. If you are writing on the first page and you have this honkin' piece over here, you can see it's a little unstable. But perfect binding is one of those things you can fold back on itself. So if I want to write on the first page, I can take this, grab about the same amount, fold this back on itself, and then like magic, it is perfectly flat. So if you have a perfect binding book, any book that has this perfect binding, including the ensemble notebooks and the CP Petite notebook with the perfect binding. This will enable you to use those first pages without issue. So there's the cover. You can see I have this much of the book. So it's just literally taking it open in the middle, putting it face down, and then pulling the cover back. Okay, so then it's flat. I'm not going to write in the front of this book. I'm going to write in the back of this book, which is going to be a little bit more challenging because it doesn't like to go that way. But we're going to do that for sake of just playing because I don't like to write in the front of the book to begin with. We're going to start off with a date stamp because I love my date stamp. It's hands down one of my favorite products. Let's see how this date stamp fits in this little square. It fits okay. It's going to go in the margin a little bit. So I'm going to grab my personal rings because I'm not good at making up information on the fly. And we're going to pretend that today is the day we're going to mock up here. All right, so I'm going to make this page as though, so the hats I wear. So I am a scientist by day. So I have a full-time corporate job in science. I am a mother of two. I am a business owner. And let's see, all the other things. In terms of sticker sizes, I will say that these time block stickers fit pretty well in this first column. So the first column is more narrow than the other. I do like that they have a checklist here with the check marks in the middle, right? So it could be the left or the right. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the right-hand side. That's something that, I don't know, it just kind of bothered me. So you can see how I typically lay out my day here. This is pretty standard for me. It's always scary to start with a new layout. So let me just start with something familiar, right? And the thing that's familiar is annotating the times my child is in school. That's just a visual reminder for me so that I don't know what I would do. It makes me feel better when it's there. Now this is half hourly. This is hourly. I do wish it was half hourly. My whole life would be changed, but here we are. At 8, I had work from home hours. And then at 9, I went to the lab. We have dinner at 6. We're having spaghetti tonight, in case anyone cared. It's going to be functional planning hours. And then I always put, like, if I'm taking my medication or journaled or whatever, my habits, that's the word I'm looking for, habits. I always put them in my time block, but I don't think I'm going to do that here. I think instead I'm going to do this. So grab my little marker here. I like to do this when I'm time blocking out for like a set of tasks. So here I would put, if you ever see F/P, that means function of planning. So those are function of planning hours. This is the AM routine and this is the PM routine. If you are struggling with hourly layouts because you have half-hourly events on occasion, my recommendation would be to write on the line for half-hourly events and then write in the box for the, if it's going to take up the whole hour. If your handwriting's small enough, you can actually do 2 per, like 2 lines of text per box. That's something else that might help you. And it's Kate, so you know she can't draw a straight line to save her life. So I like to come just inside here. I like to use a ruler so that I can line up the lines and make sure that they're straight. I will just put a line here for these. When I'm feeling fancy, I'll add a little arrow, and then I'm going to put another block here for blocking off recording, which is what we're doing now. All right. And then other things I like to do, if you're familiar with my planning style, is I like to actually write out what my children are doing on the right-hand side. I don't necessarily need to know if I have to pick them up or something like that. It's in my main calendar, but this just kind of gives me visibility. I'm not going to check off items on my task list, so I think I'm actually going to use this dedicated column for kid things. I'm really bad at doing this on camera. Movies. And that just lets me know that The child has something going on, and it's movies plus other things. She's not going to be in the movie for like 5 hours. Anyway, the other child did not have anything today. Let's just say it was a meeting heavy day. Meeting from this time to this time. And then I had a meeting from this time to this time. I'm not going to write out like the details of what's going on at work, but you kind of get the idea. And then if you wanted to like designate a time in here for something that's like a no-go zone, right? Like some people will just sit and eat at their desk. But if you have like a designated boundary with yourself to take a lunch break and get away from your desk, you could, put that in there. For me, it's my mental health walk. And it's just making sure I have 30 minutes to myself to just reset my brain. So this is just kind of what I would do here. If you wanted to get fancy with it, you could actually put like task boxes in here. Again, I can't draw a box to save my life, but if I wanted to put my habits in here, I could. We'll try that. Just kind of see what that looks like. So let's see, this is meds journal, which I missed my journaling session today. And this is emails. It's usually what I do on my work from home hours first thing. And then we'll say this is meds and reading. And I could put another one in there if I really wanted to, but I'm not going to. Typically, I will like to just take my day and then see where I have big pockets of time. Right, so I didn't have a whole lot going on. Like I had 30 minutes. Well, probably not going to do a whole lot in 30 minutes, but here I had, a big block of time. So from here to here, I could put in something else and just kind of annotate that again by literally blocking it off for whatever task list I'm currently working on. So we'll just call this time block tasks. This is why I don't typically do all of this in one place because it gets very messy very quickly. You could put like personal stuff here and then work stuff here if you really wanted to. I don't know. I something about I need my numbers on the left and my events on the right. It's how my brain works. So maybe not. But we're gonna figure this out, right? So up here I would probably put high level things that I need to know about. Let's see. I'm not going to use stickers. Well, I might use stickers. In the name of playing, we're going to use stickers. If I, for instance, had a big meeting at work or a big personal thing, I might put these in. Or, I might annotate like, hey, this is when you're going to be in the lab. Like I might use those dots over the times, that kind of thing. But for today, so my son had testing, and we'll say at work, I had a one-on-one with my manager. My work list obviously would not go in here because that would just be chaos. I don't know. Maybe I would like how this looked if I did like personal and work. I don't know. But down here, I could put, different task lists. I think it would be a little too crowded if I put my task list up here. I think I would want to put my task list down here or even notes down here. So we'll just say that we're going to put personal task here. So those are things I need to do for home. And I might even like pull this down. We'll just say adjust gem. So I know my whiteout's not going to look great because this is not the right color. But if I took one of these guys and put it up here, or let's see, just want a little bit of color. I don't want too much. Here, we'll do this so it can actually be seen on camera. This is Beignet, and they're the priority stickers. I love these things. All right. Just a little bit of color. So we'll call this personal. All right. And then this guy looks like it would fit better here. Call this crooked. That's what we'll call it. So we'll do like function of planning tasks here. And then if I were doing work tasks, I might put them down here. If I wanted, no, I don't like that there. Oh, see, I don't like the way this is laying out. Let's rethink this. Okay, we're going to do something Kate's never done before. New plan. We're going to try this again and see what we think. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to put this sticker here. That stuck to my finger. Did you guys see that? No one saw that. So we're going to do personal. We're going to do work. And then, hold on, I have a lot happening. I lost a sticker sheet and I don't know what I did with it. Yes, I do. The lost sticker sheet. So personal, work, or work and personal, to be determined. And then I'm going to take this. So I'm thinking work tasks, personal tasks. And then I think this is going to be my function of planning section down here. Let's see how this goes. Again, could be a train wreck, could be awesome. Who knows? But I'm going to put this here. Okay, so once you stick it, it lives there. This is not very friendly for repositioning stickers. I dropped my sticker, so just be aware. All right, so obviously there's not going to be anything for work past a certain time. This is why I don't combine, because it just hurts my brain. So yeah, I'm thinking personal, function of planning, and work. So I'm going to start with some personal things. And I don't really need the check boxes, but they make my heart happy. So I'm just going to put these in here. So these are timed tasks that I'm putting in here. And they're kind of nested. Well, I didn't mean to put that there. Oh well. This is what happens when you have new layouts and you don't know what you're doing with them yet. This would be the AM routine. Let's say meds, journaling. And then obviously this is work from home. And I could have just put like WFH and then my email block, which is what I probably should have done, but whatever. Lab day. And then we're going to put kid thing here. This is tricky. So this is movie. I know what that means. And then I can try and time block over here. So this is a meeting. This is not going to be pretty. There's a meeting there. There's a meeting there. And then this is my time block. And the cool thing is if I put like the actual tasks here, I can just kind of check them off if that's what I wanted to do. And then over here, I can put my mental health walk, something like that. I don't know. You can put things on both sides of the page is kind of the point here. So this would be PM meds, reading, sleep. I can put like the name of the book. And then this could be like a daily closeout box or something. I don't know. I'm just going to try and get through this setup. This is not definitely like, this is the whole point in testing out a layout. This is not how I would use it. But someone else might resonate with this. So I'm going to leave it. So this could be a task block, and I could even move this up here and then this be my checklist for my work things. So like if that sticker got moved up here, I'll just say that's the sticker. Then these could be your work tasks here. And then you could actually, keep this space for like a longer task list. So you could just like keep writing or do notes or whatever. That's something that you could do. I think I'm going to stop here because I'm not going to use it this way. And it's not bringing me joy. If it's not bringing me joy, then I doubt that it's going to hit or land with anybody online. I don't know. I'm really not happy with that. If you are still here, thank you for still being here for the episode of Kate has no idea what she's doing in this notebook. All right. So we would say this is personal. This is work. So this is, I would put like FP, home, work. All right. Okay. So you get the idea. Luckily I have tons of stickers. So we're gonna turn the page. We're gonna try this a different way. So let's pretend that that train wreck didn't just happen. We're gonna do single use. So if I were to use this as my daily planner in lieu of personal rings, right? I think that would be a better use of this for me. It does have a really great notes section, and I think I'm going to just kind of mimic the layout I have here in my personal rings, see what it looks like, and go from there. So we're going to say this is 30 April 2025. And I like to write the day of the week on mine, personal preference. And I don't know. I kind of want a pop of color. Ooh, there we go. Like that. All right. We're going to put a small pop of color over the day of the week. No logical reason, just because it brings us joy. All right. And then I'm going to write out high level schedule, not including like work specific tasks. So we'll use a spotlight sticker here for the lab at 9, this down here for these hours. All right. And then just give us a little something there. I don't use a lot of stickers in my dailies usually. It's just not something that that I do. I don't know. I like to be able to see the sticker for like a week, and that's, you know, what I don't know. I just like to be able to see it for longer than a day before I have to turn the page, and then I don't know. We're in a weird place. All right, so I'm going to just put the initial of the child here and just put what's going on. So like all day event type things up here. And then I am going to use this as a task list, so I'll just add this in here. All right, and I kind of like this over here because something I could do is I could use a sticker or a dot or whatever to indicate the priority of the task instead of just writing out a list of tasks. I need you to know that I was sitting here struggling to get these off, and I was trying to remove it from the reverse side of the sheet. So this is who I am as a human. What I was trying to say is I like that this column is here because I can use a sticker or a dot marker to really indicate the priority of that task. So I can have one list and then just have things that are like a bigger priority than the others. So i.e. confirming the babysitter for this weekend is a high priority thing for me, but it's still in my task list. I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to write a header up here for myself. We're going to make it fancy. I don't know. You guys have been heroes just sticking with me in this catastrophe of a video. There we go. So we'll call this tasks. And then what you could do is if you had like for me, I have functional planning tasks as well. Typically I just draw this little line here. So we're going to follow suit, and I'm going to draw a little line down here, make another box. Ideally these would be the same size, but I don't think I have any more of the longer ones, and I'm not going to dig. So I'll put that there, grab another one of these, and then just write function of planning. And then, all right, so we did an Instagram reel today. So IG reel is posted. Layout testing, we're doing right now. YouTube video editing is later. And then thumbnail picture for this video. So that's kind of what we got going on here. Could put my habits over here if I wanted to. So AM meds, journal. I could make them time dependent if I wanted to. I think I'm going to do one list. PM meds, reading. All right. So let's go ahead and put dinner in here. People ask me, why do you write down what you're having for dinner, what night? I used to just pull it from a meals list. Well, some people are like, let me put the dinner thing on the exact night that I'm going to eat it. Like, instead of like writing out a list of meals for the week, they'll assign it to a specific day, and the plan always changes around here. So I like a list that I can pull from, and then I write it down on the day so I know how old the leftovers are in the fridge. Just welcome to my my brain. So this is, we're just going to put recording, and then we're going to put editing. Video is going to need a lot of editing. And then here we'll put lab day, and then work from home hours. There's no rhyme or reason to the sticker coloring. It's just whatever's speaking to me at the moment. So that looks good there. We'll go with that. And then here is AM routine. And then here's PM routine. See, I'm already liking this so much better. I was concerned for a moment. That's not gonna be long enough. I don't know, maybe I do like this little checklist over here. All right, so I'm gonna actually come over quite a bit. I'm gonna turn that so that the grid lines are a little longer. We're going to have morning routine, evening routine, we're editing, we're recording, got a lab day. Let's see how this works over here for the children. This here, we'll put this here. Instead of doing the little highlight line, we're just gonna do that. So I'm just gonna put a little C. And that looks so much better to my brain. And then I have all this room down here for notes or whatever. So for instance, if I had the car situation that I'm currently dealing with, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I had a run-in with a deer and I am okay, but my car is angry and it's in the shop. So I got a little update today. Ooh, that's fun. That it will be ready sometime next week. CRV, that's not what I meant to write. I was thinking car and wrote CRVC. So let's see if we can repair that. CRV repair. And then I'm just gonna leave myself a little note. Might cost more. Cal will tell. On Thursday, which is tomorrow. So yeah, there's that, and then I'll just put habits, because again, I like headers. So yeah, this is good. I like it like this, right? So it's a bit more, I don't know, I just felt like adding the work element in, it messes with my brain, because I like to be able to just take whatever I'm working on and close the thing and walk away. So there you go. That's, if I was using this as my everyday carry, this is probably how I would use it. This would all just be notes down here. I hope this is helpful. Let me show you closer. So this is what I would do if I were using this as a daily. Habits, my personal task list, my business task list, all day events, the actual time schedule, and then notes down here. Yeah, I was just not happy with what was happening over here. It was just too much. I believe there is such thing as putting too much on the page. I need white space, or in this case, cream space, to think through something. And I didn't like this either. So we test, we succeed, we test, we fail, right? That's part of the process. I recognize this is getting very long. So I'm just gonna do a really brief journal memory keeping spread over here, and then I will wrap this up. All right, so let's say we wanted to do a recap of, yeah, we're going to use a journaling card. So I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to grab some corner stickers. I'm going to grab them in gold. We're going to get away from this color palette. We're going to use another one, because some people don't like the orange color palette that's going on. I understand. I respect it. I like it. So I'm going to pull some blue and get this out of the way. If I'm going to be journaling about a moment and use some kind of, let me back up. I don't share this a lot on YouTube because it's personal thoughts, right? But if I were going to, when I journal, I use a lot of words. That's primarily my journal go-to, is just lots of words, because I'm using this as a mental health practice. I don't use a lot of stickers. Some days I do. It just depends on how I'm feeling. But if I'm going to use this space for journaling, it would probably be more in a memory keeping fashion. For me, I would probably put the photograph on the right hand side, just to kind of cover the time blocks a little bit. If this is here, I mean, you could use this for a junk journal if you wanted to. So if you're not familiar with these corners, you just peel them off like a sticker. My recommendation is to put them on the photograph and then place the photograph. So I'm gonna put one there, I'm gonna put one here. You don't need all four, you can just do two. You don't have to use these either. You can glue it in. Again, we're just playing. But if you put them on and push it to the ends, it will be perfectly lined up. I'm going to put this here and try and get it straight, and then just push down. All right, so we've got that. And then I'm going to pull a big blue sticker here. And oh, the satisfaction of a sticker that fits perfectly. Okay, if I don't mess it up. In case any of you are under any illusion that I am a perfect sticker placer, here is your clue. I'm not your clue. Y'all, I'm tired. All right, so we have this fun sticker here, and then I might put like a heading about the day or whatnot. If you want to use a lettering pen, again, I'm a terrible hand letterer, but we're gonna give it a go. So I don't even know what to say. Great. We're gonna go with coffee. Great coffee date. And then you could put, if you wanted, your date. So I know I covered the date up there, but if you wanted to go back in here and put your date underneath, you could do that. So we have a date, and then we can just grab a pen that feels comfortable to us. We'll try a fountain pen because I haven't done that disaster yet today. So you could just handwrite something. I'm going to speed through this part. Okay, now that that's over, let's see. I want to put something here, like a sticker or something. Let's see what I have in my stash. Okay, I think I'm going to try this little matte sticker. See what this looks like. This might be too big. Okay, there we go. That's good enough. Here are two spreads. So a little coffee date spread, and then a personal. So really versatile notebook, guys. Just because the personal and work didn't work for me doesn't mean it won't work for you. It might make sense to your brain. And that's what's great about planning in different notebooks, is that it's different for all of us. And certain things make sense to certain people. You know, if all else fails, this could be an amazing journal memory keeping system, as I really try to make more of a point to take pictures of things other than planners. But here we are. All right, so the original cover's back on. And the last thing I wanted to show you was this cactus vegan leather folio. If you can put this on with the plastic. So this is in a large size, and I'll link the product down below because I just think it looks amazing. This fits like a glove. There's a little bit of gap right here. I think I pushed it in too far. There's a little bit of a gap, nothing crazy, but it does fit in the large size folios. The one thing, if you have it in a folio, you can't bend it back on itself. So be aware of that. So this is what it looks like, all folioed up. And so I hope that this helped just kind of give you guys some ideas. All right, guys, today was a lot of fun. Thank you for hanging with me. If you made it this long, please leave me a comment below and let me know, like, you made it all the way through. You're the MVP. Here's just kind of a high level, the examples that we went through. So we went through a heat map with the Pocket Plus. We went through a YouTube video script outline in the HP Classic. Brainstorming notebooks, what I'm going to be calling it. And then we did two layouts here. One for like personal and business, like an everyday carry situation. And then a little memory keeping situation. Just to kind of test it out and see what it looks like when the ink takes forefront of the page instead of the structure that's native to the notebook. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a comment below and let me know that. If you drew inspiration from any of the layouts or examples that I showed you today, let me know that too. I always enjoy hearing how something I created helped inspire you. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so and like the video so I know to create more content like this for you. If you're already subscribed to the Cloth and Paper monthly subscription box, these notebooks will be on their way to you soon. If you're not a subscriber, I'll leave a link in the comment below so you can get your hands on your own set. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today and watching. It means the world to me. And don't forget, I want to be planner friends, so follow me across other social media platforms so we can continue the planner conversation beyond just today. Until next time, have a great day, guys.